Hello, my name is Alissa Smith, and this is part one of my presentation creating interactive early childhood whiteboard lessons using Collaborate, and that's through Blackboard. The reason I am presenting this is I have been working at Hoosier Academies. I'm a virtual education teacher or kindergarten teacher, and I have been working here since I graduated college. It's about 5.5 years. I started on half year, half day kindergarten. I did not use Collaborate that year, but then I taught a third and fourth grade split at our hybrid center for 2 years. I taught kindergarten hybrid, K1 hybrid, and then this year is my first year teaching an entirely virtual class, and my class is entirely kindergarten this year. So I've been using Blackboard Collaborate for 5 years. Um, I started out only teaching about, one or two lessons a day, and that has evolved over the years to a lot more, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the presentation. My Twitter handle is Cappy's Corner if you'd like to tweet me questions about the presentation that you're going to watch at Blackboard on Tour, or if you'd just like to ask questions or join my PLN. I really like to connect with other educators. So, Hoosier Academy is a tuition-free charter school in Indianapolis, Indiana. The students, it's partial homeschooling. So we have two types of schools within our school system. We have our hybrid school where they'll attend a learning center 2 days out of the week, and then they learn from home the other three. Or we have the entirely virtual school where they learn at home every day of the week. So what that looks like is we have an online school where they have access to lessons and curriculum and an emailing system that we call K-mail that's between the teacher, families, and admin as well. And the families are asked to teach the lessons, they follow the lesson guides, and then they have support from a certified teacher. However, thankfully, we have Blackboard Collaborate where I can teach the students live sessions throughout the day and they get to interact. It's like a web conferencing software. So, here's how I use Blackboard Collaborate this year. We have whole group lessons, small groups. I use it to host my parent-teacher conferences. I have team meetings. I meet with my kindergarten team once a week. We provide interventions, and then we also provide parent trainings. So this is what a standard week looks like for my kindergarten team. I'm Miss Smith, so I will lead the reading block for an hour each day from 10:30 to 11:30. We cover our story for the day and phonics lessons. And then we have breakout rooms. Every kindergarten student is provided with a reading group, just like you would at a traditional school. Think of center times, and they break out here. We've actually added a new teacher to add an additional group, so now we have 4 reading groups throughout our program that meet 4 times a week. And then we have our math lessons, which are basically the lessons that they would be learning that day. We teach those as well so they can come and interact with a teacher. And then we have guided math, which is a little bit more differentiated and individualized. We teach the main lesson for the week and then we break out into topics. If they mastered last week's topic, they continue to stay in the main room, but if they struggled with last week's topic, then they go to a different breakout room for some review before they move forward. And then red and yellow are additional groups that I offer my students. And then this is our corporate meeting every week on Wednesdays at 3. We meet in Collaborate as well because we have teachers throughout the entire state of Indiana. So the biggest piece for me was behavior management. I have these students who are sitting on the other side of a computer screen and I can't really see what they're doing. So some of that, especially at the kindergarten age, some of that responsibility is put back on the parents because they're the ones who can see if they're looking at the screen or they're looking at the ceiling or they're playing with the dog. But we also have a Collaborate pledge for the students to follow every day to kind of have common language between home and school and explain to the students what we expect from them. So instead of saying a bunch of don't do this, don't do that, stop typing in the chat box, we start each day by saying our collaborate pledge, sometimes after the Pledge of Allegiance if it's our first meeting for the day. And we say, I will follow directions. I will not prevent the teacher from teaching or other students from learning. I am ready to learn and do my personal best. And this one has been really big because, you think in a traditional brick and mortar school, you have an idea of ways that students can misbehave. I mean, they never cease to surprise you. But imagine in the virtual platform, especially when you're doing something that is so new and unique, you don't have that college background for it. You don't have a lot of mentors to go to or experts in the field just yet. There are some, but there aren't resources for behavior management that you would find traditionally. So this kind of is the umbrella rule that covers all of those possibilities of what they could come up with. We also have a spotted program, so I'm going to stop, and this is the end of part 1, so I can refer you to the spotted program. And that's basically our behavior management program for families and a way to reward good behavior. I'm a big fan of PBIS, so it's also a great way to encourage the positive behavior and notice that instead of spending time telling them what not to do. So this is the end of session 1. We're going to watch the spotted video and then we're going to come back for session 2.